Everybody ready? Welcome everyone. I call to order the Thursday, October 17th, City of New Bern Planning and Zoning Board meeting. Would you all please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Kendrick, can we have a roll call, please?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. First for Board Member Kyle Deering.
Here.
Board Member Danielle Peoples.
Here.
Board Member Kip Paraguay.
Here.
Chairman Brad Jefferson.
Here.
Board Member Rusty Ingram.
Here.
Board Member Kelly Kaiser.
Here.
Board Member Thomas Brownell.
Here.
And Board Member Marshall Ballard.
Here.
Here.
All right, Mr. Chairman, we do have a quorum.
All right, thank you, Kendrick. I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I move we approve the agenda as is.
Second. A motion and second. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Briefly, for chairman remarks, I've got a couple things on the land use ordinance. Consultant Chad Meadows is coming back to New Bern on October 29th and 30th. He's got office hours on the 29th from 2 to 6 and the 30th from 1 to 4. If anyone would like to meet with him on this board or in public, please call 252-639-7585 and make an appointment. They're also doing an open house on the 30th from 4 to 6 p.m. and that's at Development Services at 303 First Street. All that information is on readnewbern.com. They also have updated that website with the documents from his last time here, the annotated outline. It's about 145 pages of an outline. It's not technical documents, but it's how the land use ordinance is going to look, so it's worth looking at. It has the steering committee presentation that I sat through, a lot of information in there, and their trip notes, which I found to be very thorough. A lot of the stuff in there is kind of interesting. So that concludes my chairman remarks in the land use ordinance. We'll move on to the action items. Unless there's any other business that needs to be in front of the board. Mr. Deering?
I asked the board to allow me to accuse me from voting on this matter due to my conflict of interest.
So we'll need a motion from another member of the board and then a second to allow Mr. Deering to recuse himself from this meeting.
I make a motion that we allow Mr. Deering to recuse himself.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Kyle, can you have a seat in the audience, please, like last time? Thank you, sir. All right, and with that, we'll move on to item 6A. So just for a little bit of background before Kendrick makes his presentation. The responsibilities of the Planning and Zoning Board tonight include approving general final subdivision plots. 7 members of this board are appointed by the Board of Aldermen. They must reside in the city. 1 member is appointed by the Craven County Board of Commissioners and resides within the city's extraterritorial planning area. This board is an advisory authority to the Board of Aldermen. The Board of Aldermen acts as in its legislative capacity and follows voting procedures as part of official meetings. The Board of Aldermen is not bound by the recommendations of the Planning and Zoning Board. The action items this evening will have a staff report. We will then take public comment limited to 3 minutes per speaker, and then we will have the applicant remarks. The order and public comment protocol reflects the board's recent adopted rules of procedure. So introducing this item, Tyler Homes on Lake Phase 2 and 3 General Planned Unit Development. This item falls under major subdivision general and final plat approvals. The board has the decision to approve the action reflecting the plan satisfies the technical requirements of the city's land use ordinance, or deny the action indicating the plan fails to satisfy the technical requirements of the city's land use ordinance. If the board finds the plat or proposed subdivision fails to comply with one or more requirements of the city land use ordinance, the motion must state the deficiency and the basis of which the proposed subdivision could be approved. So, Kendrick, I will turn it over to you for your staff brief.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good evening to the board and Mr. Chairman. For our only item here tonight, this is Tyler Home on the Lake, phases 2 and 3. It's the general plan, and this is known as a PUD, or Plan Unit Development. This is for major subdivision 002932, 2024. And the request summary here, the applicant is John G. Thomas, PE, owner/principal engineer, Thomas Engineering, PA, and the owner is Stars and Stripes 4F LLC, and the location here is off of Lake Tyler Drive in New Bern, North Carolina. The existing zoning is residential 10A or R-10A, and the size here is 20.78 total acres. Overview, the proposed plan unit development is for 141 single-family attached units. The subject properties are currently zoned as residential 10A, and this is essentially an established zoning district within the City of New Bern's land use ordinance. The purpose for residential districts is to accommodate for comfortability, health, and safety in a pleasant environment for which to live. And first here is the vicinity map, and basically the parcels that you see, which indicate the different parcel numbers that are associated with the item, are highlighted in red. That's followed by our buffer map. We take a 100-foot buffer surrounding the different property lines to meet the notice requirements per the land use ordinance. And here is the aerial map. This is, again, I know a bit clouded, but once again, it's highlighted in red and basically just reflecting what's on the ground. And that's followed by the actual zoning map here, which again is going to reflect that R-10A zoning district. And here is the site plan that has been revised. And as you'll probably remember, Mr. Chairman and to the board, there was minor concerns that were expressed from Public Works. The applicant has since then made these differences of conversations with Public Works. A response from Public Works was received prior to this meeting to make sure that there was no additional concerns. They came back that there was no additional comment. So, and for staff's evaluation, kind of segues into that. Proposed subdivision meets all requirements set forth in the City of New Bern, New Bern's land use ordinance, and all comments from the Departmental Review Committee have been addressed. And I will stop it here at the site plan, but if the board has any questions, I'll take those at this time.
Board have any questions for Kendrick?
So at the last meeting, the issue was parking and the way the parking was situated, and did that violate the city ordinance? So are your comments about the fact that Public Works has now been satisfied, does that mean that the parking has been worked out between the city and the applicant?
Yes, sir.
And we have no issues with potential violations of ordinances and everything looks good?
Yes, sir. That's correct. They changed the parking to be parallel as what was kind of spoken from the previous meeting,
right,
to make sure to, in essence, accommodate for what Public Works was expressing as a concern.
Got it. Thank you for the clarification.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Kendrick, when they changed the parking from angled to parallel, how much parking did we lose?
So
in
I don't
that
have a definitive number on the exact amount, but I can tell you there was some parking loss. However, they weren't necessarily required. They were meeting the parking calculation in accordance to what the land use ordinance was expecting.
Okay.
So in theory, you didn't lose any parking. They just tried to allow for additional parking at the express concern of Public Works.
Okay.
So to clarify, it meets the parking requirements of the zoning that it has?
That's correct.
And
Yes,
the
sir.
plan unit development? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions for Kendrick? All right, hearing none, thank you, sir. With this, the people that just showed up, do either one of you want to make a public comment on this matter? No? Okay. Then we'll move into the applicant. If the applicant would like to speak, make any comments?
I don't really have much to add from last time. What we did, as you probably heard, which I didn't, my hearing just is not good in this room, and I apologize for that. But we got rid of the angle parking, and we made everything parallel parking. As part of that, we lost 2/3 of the parking that we had hoped that we would get in there. But that's what we did. I don't know that the applicant intends to pursue the angle parking at this point. We talked to him about that, but right now I think this is going to be it for this project. And I'll be glad to answer any questions if you want to call me back up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Thomas.
All right. With that, I'll move to any deliberations from the board on this item.
Do we need a consistency statement for this?
No, sir.
Okay. Then I move we approve the planned unit development, the application as presented.
I have a motion. I have a second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. All right, we'll move on to new business. Is there any new business from any members of the board?
Mr. Chair, at this time, if you'd like to entertain a motion to reinstate Mr. Deering.
Yes, thank you,
I
Jamie.
move we reinstate Kyle back to our dais.
Second that.
All right, motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Come right on back up, Kyle. Thank you. Good catch, Ms. Senator. And with that, is there any new business from this board on anything that they would like to bring up? No? Hearing none. I'll move on to staff comments. Does staff have any comments this evening?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, just a minor comment, but basically just to kind of prep you all for the next meeting here, which is on November 14th. We do have a bit of a agenda. So there's probably roughly about 5 items, maybe even 6 items.
Wonderful.
It's two general plans, 2 final plats, and then also a rezoning. So just kind of giving the board an understanding of what's coming.
Okay.
So that's for November 14th for next month. So.
Awesome.
And 4 of those items are a general plan and a final plan that are together, so they're the same subdivision. I know we haven't done that since probably last year, where it would go straight from a general to a final, but they're minor subdivisions, so they elected to proceed this way.
Okay. All right, does any board member have any staff questions? No?
Quick
Okay.
question about the New Bern effort. I know that there was some discussion about having focus groups. Do we know if that's going to be part of this next visit or if those dates have been set?
That is correct, yes. We'll have 2 groups each day, and one of the groups is for the development community, another group is for the realtors of the community, another is just a general group where anybody can pop in to make those contributions, and then the last group is for historic preservation area residents who want to participate, so we'll get hopefully a lot of feedback from them. A lot of folks who were on that particular list have confirmed that they will attend.
Okay. How are those invitations going out?
They are by email. Also, that information, if anybody from the public wants to participate, is on the website, and that does link to an email to me. So if they reach out on the website, that email will come to me, and I can set them up either with office hours or to be part of a focus group.
Okay. And if any of us wanted to sit in the room and observe those, would that be all right?
Yeah, there should be no problem with any observations from members of this board if they wanted to attend.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
A second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned.
Quick
Yeah, next meeting, I saw.